They lied to us for decades, and tonight you'll hear why. What crashed in the desert wasn't a plane, and what they dragged away was never meant for human eyes. The government swore it never happened, but leaked files, witnesses, and whispers prove otherwise. This is the secret they'll never admit. Part 1, the second most shocking detail: leaked evidence and witnessed flights. It was supposed to be just another night in the Nevada desert, quiet, empty, lifeless. But then the sky split open. A glowing orb appeared above Papoose Lake, bright, silent, and unnervingly alive. It hovered without sound, then darted at angles that mocked gravity. Witnesses gasped, camcorders trembled in shaking hands. The object didn't fly like a jet. It fell through the air like space itself had been bent. Bob Lazar had brought them there. He told his friends, "Watch this, they test the craft on Wednesdays." And just as he predicted, the orb danced. Left, right, up, down. Movements impossible for any aircraft designed by human hands. But wait until you hear who tried to silence this. Because within days they were intercepted. Armed soldiers emerged from the darkness, cameras seized, IDs taken. Their names added to lists they would never escape. Lazar was dragged back inside S4, confronted with transcripts of his own phone calls. His private life wasn't private at all. The message was chilling. "You've seen too much. Keep your mouth shut, or else." And yet, the flights continued. Part 2, the most explosive revelation: government cover-up and alien craft at S4. They told us it was a weather balloon, but what they dragged away said otherwise. Bob Lazar didn't stumble onto a myth. He walked into the belly of it. According to his testimony, buried into the Nevada mountainside was a facility called S4, hidden just south of the infamous Groom Lake. Carved into the rock, disguised as part of the desert itself, were 9 hangars. And inside those hangars, 9 alien craft. 9 flying machines of different shapes and sizes, smooth, seamless, and terrifyingly advanced. Lazar's assigned craft was dubbed the Sport Model, a metallic disc with no bolts, no rivets, no signs of human construction. Inside, chairs too small for humans, ceilings uncomfortably low, and a reactor powered by something unheard of, Element 115. A whistleblower later recalled a classified briefing. These beings originate from Zeta Reticuli. Contact ongoing since the late 1940s. Do not disclose. The propulsion? Not jets, not rockets, but gravity itself. The craft bent space-time, collapsing the distance between 2 points. No exhaust, no sound. Just silent distortion. This wasn't theory. Lazar said he touched it. He described the amplifiers, 3 arranged in a triangle beneath the craft. When powered, they projected gravitational waves strong enough to make the ship invisible, slipping through space like a knife through water. The government's official word? None of this ever happened. And yet, years later, photographs emerged of the exact hand scanners Lazar described, devices mocked as fantasy in 1989. Even more damning, in 2003, scientists confirmed the existence of Element 115. Coincidence or proof? This is the moment everything unravels.
Part 3, the lesser-known angle. Leaks, testimonies, and harassment. But Lazar's nightmare wasn't confined to hangars. It followed him home. Unmarked helicopters hovered over his house. Cars with blacked-out windows idled down the street. His phones clicked. His wife whispered that someone was listening. And then came the stakeouts. He brought his friends to see. He wanted proof. But after the third trip, the military descended. Spotlights burned across the desert. Voices shouted through megaphones. One witness recalled. They had transcripts of Bob's private conversations. They knew things only wiretaps could reveal. That's when I realized he wasn't just paranoid. We were all in danger. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Because Lazar wasn't the only one silenced. Journalists who dug too deep reported break-ins, confiscated tapes, even mysterious accidents. Whistleblowers vanished into obscurity, and the files buried so deep even FOIA requests return nothing but empty pages. And still, one chilling quote leaked from an internal Pentagon memo. The propulsion observed is non-terrestrial in origin, containment necessary to prevent public destabilization. Part 4. Fallout and Future Dread. The fear of what's next. If this happened once, it can happen again, and no one is safe. Because the truth isn't out there. It's been right here all along. Decades after Lazar's interview, the Pentagon admitted the existence of ATIP, a program dedicated to studying unidentified aerial threats. Navy pilots released cockpit footage, tic-tac-shaped craft darting across the ocean at impossible speeds. Sound familiar? They moved exactly as Lazar described. Instant acceleration, silent drift, no heat signature. So what happens when the next craft isn't hovering above Nevada, but above New York? What happens when the silence breaks, not with leaks or whispers, but with an arrival? They weren't here to visit. They were here to stay. And the government covered it up. But they can't cover what's coming next. They lied to us for decades, and tonight you've heard why. This isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning. Because if 9 craft were hidden in S4, how many more are buried across the world? And if Bob Lazar was right, the question isn't if they'll come back. It's when. Wait and see what's coming next.